Pow, Mike Draco in the house. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. Cincinnati represented here in the ShopTalk studios. Sunday night, we're getting ready to rock and roll with another 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Mr. Greg White coming from T-Hoss. Evening, y'all. Good to see you here, Gus. It's going to be a great show. We have the privilege this evening of going live from the final of the chase. This year's chase, the Route 66 chase, has just declared their winners. And in the melee of it all, Mr. Jason Sims has agreed to come in with us and tell us the story of this year's chase. Robin Higginbottom in with us. Tim Stahl, what's going on, buddy? Obviously scouring the internet looking for those parts. Nancy Weems in the house. Professional Monkey, what's up, dude? TJ Smith, what it do from Lake Charles? Jeremy Valentine, always good to see you, my brother. Steve Broyles from the D. Troy Phillips. Freddie Bolage, what's up, buddy? Love you too. Good to see your name here, Freddie. I was just thinking about calling you today. I owe you a phone call just to catch up for a minute. Lisa Ballard in the house, the queen of Chop Cult, joining us, bringing you all the chopper goodies from all across the country and the world. Mr. Tom Banks, 84U, Pittsburgh racer, entrepreneur, enthusiast himself. Karen Cafazzo, happy Sunday. Amby Savage, man, lots of people already, and it's good. This is going to be a fantastic. Well, look at that. I didn't even start the clock. That's terrible. Dereliction of duty. I'm going to get kicked out of the studio before we even start tonight. Oh, Heather's going to be so disappointed. Freddie, you're coming to Sons of Speed. That's great. All of us here are getting fired up for Sons. The southern version of Flat Broke Chops and Rods is all a fury with getting the flathead or the 45 together. Roadside Marty and Mr. Shelton Davis putting a wrench on that thing, getting ready for us. Mrs. Monkey's here with us too. Chris Frazier, wish I was there. At the chase, yes. At our headquarters, no, because fall is set in, and there's only one good thing about that, and that means it's time for fall foliage. We're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight too. Nancy Weems, the chase was exciting. Lots of good content coming out of that. We're going to show you some of the live broadcasting they were doing out of that and everything. So just a couple minutes, and we'll be Tom Motzko checking in. Cut it out. Tom, I would have never expected to see your name up on the screen. That's killer. Right on. And this is proof, man. As many bad things, and God forgive me for saying that there was any good that came out of COVID, but we all stepped it up a little bit with technology, and we have so many new great ways to communicate and keep in touch with each other. It's great. So yeah, it's cold here in Pittsburgh, but it's warm in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, and we're going to be getting started with this show in just a couple minutes. It's enough time for you to grab a drink, kick back, relax, hit the like and share button, help us spread the Shop Talk glory all over the interwebs out there, like the old guys say. And we'll be started here in just a minute. Upshift Podcast. See you in Daytona. That's awesome, man. Can't wait for Daytona. Can't wait for Willie's. Oh, can't wait. Taking that last bit of sunshine and good weather, and before we're going to be back here under a large blanket of the white stuff. Ugh, I can't believe I'm saying it. But hey, let's not talk about that now, because there's plenty of motorcycle stuff going on from here to there. And later in the show, Freddie, do you want to race a 45? I may have one ready for your butt to sit on. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to have a flat broke 45 there, but I'm going to keep up on that with you, man. Summer Simmons stuck at what? What are you stuck at, Chris? She might be stuck at the airport. She was at the chase. So I guess we have a Steelers fan. Absolutely. Back to Salisbury, living in Rockham, and love the smoke out there right down the road from me. We are back in Salisbury, man, and it was a fantastic event. We're actually started on next year. I can't even believe I'm saying that without Heather screaming at me. Good thing our microphone's off. All right, man, we're down to 2 minutes. Chris is stuck at LAX. Oh, my goodness. What a great day, though. So just a minute away. Get us fired up here in the studio. Get things warmed up and ready to go. And we're going live with 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Stick around for Shop Talk. Gary Raphael in the house. I got a comment on this. Hello from Jersey tonight on our way north. They're already on their way up there. It's killing me. I can't wait for fall foliage, man. Cannot wait. Yeah, Gary Raphael, pork roll. Please, bring pork roll. Bring pork roll to fall foliage. Everybody needs to start the day off with a good pork roll. All right, man, listen. Since I didn't start the clock in enough time, we're close enough now. We're going to cut you guys loose. Bring this one out of the station up on the track and get started with this week's installment of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, and I am thrilled to be here tonight because that means I'm not out in the driveway or in the garage unpacking shit from smokeout still. It's been a long 2 weeks of unpacking and sorting, and I didn't know we took that much bullshit to North Carolina.
Well, we still have another truck to unpack. Don't get too excited.
And there's a trailer at Mark's.
I did notice that the kitchen sink wasn't put back in yet.
Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing that we ever leave this place.
Oh my
By the
God.
way, let me go to a full frame shot of Heather and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, if you were one of the lucky people that outbid everyone else for Tankful,
There's your tanks. They are going to get out tomorrow. My goal is to get them out and shipped tomorrow. I do apologize for the delay. I think everybody's gotten an email from me. We came home on Wednesday, and it was deadline week. So we had 1 week from the time we got home to finish an entire issue of the magazine. So that's the reason there's been a little bit of a delay. But again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. But these tanks right here put $15,000 into Meals on Wheels.
And that's
I
so
cannot
awesome. So
thank
awesome.
everybody who donated, painted a tank, or bought a tank enough from the bottom of my heart. Again, broken record. Thank you.
No, and you know, man, like real quick, just to put that in perspective, when the Hamsters USA decided to pick up Meals on Wheels and Spearfish last year for their first year, they raised, I think the number was $8,000. That doubled the budget, the annual budget for Spearfish.
Yep.
$8,000 doubled what they have in their program for an entire year.
If it's all right, I want to make it, their budget was $8,000.
Yeah.
And the Hamsters were able to donate $15,000.
Okay.
And with that money, they bought a new van. Well, not new, but they were able to get a new vehicle to deliver food, a new stove to cook food. And it went so far.
Yep.
So to be able to do that again, I can't thank you guys enough. Okay,
Yep.
move on.
Right on, man.
Cry.
So thank you guys again for that. And just a little update on that.
So is that where the kitchen sink went?
We used the kitchen sink to clean.
Did you guys donate the kitchen sink again?
To clean all the tanks. But an update on that, we do have 14 artists already set up for next year.
Reached out to us and volunteered. I am going to cap it at 20, so I have 6 spots open, and I'm going to try and get the tanks out within the next month or so if I can. So if you know anybody that wants to paint a tank, or if you want to paint a tank, please shoot me a message and we'll get you taken care of.
Dude, how about some of the names? That we got in
Ron
already?
Fleener.
I'm so excited that Fleener was one of the first ones across the line. Through a little miscommunication on our part, Jody Pierwitz was going to be part of this year's deal, and through that miscommunication, her involvement in the chase, we're actually moving Jody to next year. Yep. So she was the first scheduled artist for 2023's Tank Full.
And I've heard rumor that Horny Mike is going to be doing a tank.
Really? That's great, man.
I've heard that through the grapevine, so as soon as I get actual confirmation from him, we'll get that out there.
That's great. So we're already talking about getting ready for fall foliage. The truck is,
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Partially packed and we're getting ready to go. But the question is, what did we do this week, right? And we've already said that we spent most of the week unpacking. And last night we had the luck to be involved in a great event called Rock for Life that happened at Speed Freak Motorsports. Rock for Life does a lot of great work in the area as far as a charitable event. Puts together a bunch of bands, musicians. Happened at Speed Freak Motorsports. Our boy Clint up there, and me and the boys from Big House Pete went out. But Mark, what have you been doing, man?
Sleeping. I sleep well. Actually, it's coming up on flannel season, so
it is.
I've been
and Rob
ironing.
Nussbaum is in the house. Our associate producer is here,
and Jason's here too. So I mean, I've been getting all my best flannels out for ShopTalk. I've been doing nothing, working away, getting ready for something that I know you're going to throw in my lap here real soon. So
well, and I had to ask you just because I was interested to see what the answer was going to be without having the ability to say something that we were doing for Smokeout. Going to there, like the last 3 months, all we've talked about is Smokeout.
I know, and it's already started. Like, I don't know about you. You said I was going to kill you about talking about Smokeout for 2023. On my way home from Smokeout, I already have stuff scheduled and booked for 2023. So I was already on it.
I think next year is going to be off the charts. I think a lot of people sort of held off this year.
Yeah.
Just to see how things
and
fell
dude,
together,
it was still, listen, I have to tell you, whatever you heard about Smokeout this year, we had in the neighborhood of 4,000 people come through the gate. Yeah. And that's not, Smokeout typically year after year is between 7,500 and 10,000 people. And I have to tell you, for our first year event, even though Heather has been the operations manager of Broken Spoke, and Mark and I have done so much of this shit all over the country, to handle an event from start to finish, much like our guest is going to come on here and tell you tonight, but to handle an event from start
especially
to finish,
the first one.
I'm so glad there were not more people because my God.
Like, I am so thankful for the rain on Saturday because I think had it not rained, I think we would have had our asses handed to us.
We were right on the edge.
In a good way.
We were right on the edge. Oh, but hey, listen, if this is your first time watching, this is a show we do every Sunday night, mostly. And it's nearly all the time at 9 p.m. And it's close to that, as close as we can get it. But it comes to you from Cycle Source Magazine. It's a regular newsstand publication we've been doing for 25 years. And in the show, we do a lot of the same stuff that we do in the magazine, but we bring it to you in digital format. It puts life into the stories that we write. So it gives us the ability to let you hear the stories firsthand from the people that we talk to, see some of the places that we go with your own eyes and experience that along with us. And it's been our privilege now. What are we on? Episode number 213.
Yes.
And I can't thank you guys enough for that. But this is normally where I say, we have some entertainment, we have some guests, and we start the whole thing off with a little program we call the news.
The ShopTalk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
Here's the thing.
The news? The news is there's no news.
No kidding. Like we have subscriptions to a bunch of servers that like come up from Google and all kind of stuff. And it's basically like how you used to see in the old newsrooms, the ticker tape. Well, the ticker tape didn't move at all today.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved. Like it's eerie almost because there is nothing other than Jason and the chase and we're getting ready for fall foliage. It was freaky. There is nothing substantial that happened in motorcycling this week.
So we can actually
heard.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
I mean, stuff always happens in the motorcycle industry. It's just a matter of whether or not we actually want to talk about it.
Rob Nussbaum, he always busts my balls on this one. It's a segment, not a program. I know. I screw that up every time we do it. But hey, we got lots of stuff to get through. We're going to take 2 minutes real quick and take a look at a tech tip from our friends over at Law Tigers. When we come back on the other side, we're going straight to our guest. Jason is on the chase at the end. People are partying on the beach, and we're going to go and find out for you guys who won. So stick around. We're going to check out this feature bike or tech tip, and then we're back with Jason. You're watching Shop Talk.
Unfortunately, we've all seen the videos like this. So today, myself and Law Tigers are talking how to load your motorcycle, especially by yourself if you don't have any friends around to help you out. This can work with a dirt bike, street bike, sport bike, but if you are riding a heavier vehicle, you're probably going to be looking at renting an affordable trailer.
Things you'll need: a ramp, another ramp or something for you to walk up, tie-down strap to secure the ramp, and tie-downs to hold your motorcycle in place. No friends this time, we're talking about doing it yourself. If you can, find a ditch or gutter to lower the rear of your truck for less of a slope. Now for the most important thing you'll do, strap the ramp securely so it can't slide away from the tailgate. Most of those internet fails are from applying power to the rear wheel and it pulling the ramp out from underneath, or it slipping from the tailgate. We know how that ends. Now that the ramp's secure, you've got something for yourself to walk up, maybe a crate or another ramp. You can practice your footing. Doing this alone, I use the motorcycle to power itself up. Do not ride it. It's on in first gear and use the clutch's friction zone to slowly pull the motorcycle up. The front brake is important too, but clutch control is key. Line it up and slowly pull forward, pausing to make sure your footing is secure. Take it slow and remain in full control. Then tie down your motorcycle. That can be vehicle specific and an art form in itself. Similarly, when you arrive with the motorcycle off, you can use the clutch to engine brake, as it's easier on the left side while you control your stability.
Throughout this whole process, take it slow, make sure that you've got full control and great footing while moving your motorcycle. And should you ever need them or be injured in a motorcycle accident, give Law Tigers a call even before your insurance company, as they are motorcycle lawyers that will go to bat and get the compensation that you deserve. More information in the description below. My name is Alyssa, and I will see you in the next one.
I'm getting you a milk crate.
Listen, I have milk crates, and I wanted to say, like, Alyssa and the people from Law Tigers, those are great videos that they do. Like, we've been running more and more of them. She covered nearly everything, every bad situation, every bad decision that I have ever used. The only thing she didn't cover was whiskey throttle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanted to see her foot go through the milk crate. That would have been great.
Does that apply to, like, the choppers and stuff, too?
It could.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I'm getting you a milk crate.
The problem is the vehicles are too high. So nice try.
Yep. Jim Grady has a good point while we're looking at the comments here. I use a little electric winch, just press the button remote and walk it up into the truck bed. Mark has one of those set up in his big trailer, so that's a good tip too.
It's the camaraderie, Heather. It's the camaraderie.
I hate loading motorcycles.
It's being together. It's getting set up for the event.
Well, there's certain, let me rephrase that. Certain scenarios I do not like loading motorcycles.
Yeah, when they're going in or coming out of any vehicle we've ever owned. That's Heather's.
Certain scenarios.
Hey, that's not true. Don't you lie.
No, it's a thought.
You tell the truth, Christopher.
Hey, Professional Monkey says, I can't tell you how many times I've just gunned it up the ramp on the bike and no idea how it never went wrong.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Do you know what you just did to yourself?
So, hey, listen,
Mrs. Monkey, keep the video camera handy because it's going to happen.
I want to remind you guys that all these comments are coming in over here. All you have to do, no matter where you're watching the program, type your comments in, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and they'll come in that box. and we'll answer them throughout the show. But for now, I want to remind you, you're watching Shop Talk through the courtesy of Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, and we're going to get to our guest because this is exciting. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know one of the greatest motorcycle events that's ever been created, the Motorcycle Cannonball, and in conjunction with that, the Cross Country Motorcycle Chase, have been two of our favorite things to follow, go along on, watch from afar, check in on. And tonight we have the privilege to actually bring you the announcement of the winners with Mr. Jason Sims live from the event. So we'll get him on here and let him tell you a little bit more about the event. If you guys have any questions, put them up there and we'll get to it. Let's go to the lines and bring on Jason.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectro Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's happening?
So you have that look that I'm familiar with, having been on the chase one time. I can tell you that as excited as everyone is at the beginning and all the exhilaration from day to day, day in and day out, when everyone gets to the finish line, man, it's a giant sigh of relief and everyone is tired and ready to go.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You know, we landed on Santa Monica Pier today at noon, had our award ceremony about 1 o'clock. And boy, when we were done with that, those guys were like, dude, we gotta go. You know, they didn't even take in, you know, the full time that we could have had those guys there on the pier, which is a really special thing because the pier just does not let anybody out there and park out there, take pictures and doing a work like we did today.
So just for everybody, real quick, give everybody a quick background on Motorcycle Cannonball and how out of that the chase came to be before we get to the how you win it and who won this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So the motorcycle chase come from the Motorcycle Cannonball. You know, we started the Cannonball in 2010, and you know, it was just for like old bikes, 90 years and older, 100 years and older bikes. And you know, I was getting all these calls from all these people to say, hey, you know, I got a 1934. I wish I could do the Cannonball. I've got a 48 Panhead, you know, 36 Chief. You know, why can't I partake in the fun? And, you know, so it really got me thinking, like, you know what, if I want to do something with what I call a more modern bike, I really wanted to put a challenge together. So I came up with this concept of the cross country chase of, all right, we'll start with these motorcycles that are 1930 to 1960-ish. And, but I want them to do it, and I wanted to do it unassisted. No trucks, no trailers, just you and your motorcycle and everything that you can pack on it. And, you know, put 100 like-minded people together and see if we could cross the country and see how many we end up at the end.
Right on. Now, this year's twist to the chase, which, you know, you guys go through painstaking efforts to make sure that the route is not only one of the most glorious parts of the whole thing, the things that you're going to see, the places you're going to go, but you also keep it super undercover. This year was a little bit different because everybody kind of knew Route 66, you know,
right.
But that was also one of the biggest things, because I think in the life of every motorcyclist, that's one of the things. You know, you want to go to the Grand Canyon, you want to go to Bonneville Salt Flats, Alaskan Highway, Route 66, maybe Four Corners in your life. So this was an opportunity that you guys were giving them this chance at a bucket list ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we, in the spirit of it, I had to change it up. You know, I mean, I didn't want to put these guys on Route 66 the entire time. You know, a lot of the route now is interstates and big cities, and, you know, that's just really not in the spirit of what we do. So I changed it up, and, you know, we took these guys places that, you know, Route 66 isn't, but it should actually be there. You know, and I'm hoping that, you know, some of the associations out there are watching, and, you know, or the general public is watching. And, you know, if you want to tackle Route 66, you know, in your car or your motorcycle, that you really take a look at what we did and get off the interstates and get away from the big cities, and, you know, and just deviate off of it a little bit and make the best out of it.
Now, you know, going through the photos and pre-show, and I mean, I've been on Route 66 100 times myself. Like I forget how much a scene like this, when you run across a scene like this, and maybe it's being a child of the 70s and I was in that sweet spot of Americana, that Route 66 still holds so much sentimental value, you know, but seeing things like this and looking at all the pictures on the walls and all the memorabilia and stuff, like it makes, you know, the time that you spend going on so much of that route, it makes it so worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it was one of these things that we didn't really have enough time to do exactly what you wanted to do on Route 66 to get the really full experience of it. You know, we did this kind of abbreviated, quick, you know, hustle every day part of it, you know, because one, it's a competition, and you know, to really do Route 66, you know, you need about 30 days to do it, to really enjoy all the scenes, take in all the Americana, talk to all the small town people, and really experience, you know, what makes Route 66 so special. You know, my goal was to cram as much as I could in 10 days, and you know, hopefully these guys will be like, oh dude, I got to go back here and check out this town and this town, and you know, and spend a few days in each one of those areas and stimulate the economy in those areas.
And I, you know, both for Cannonball and for the Chase, I think that's one of the greatest things that you guys do, is the fact that, you know, you give people enough of that experience, but you're showing them how easy it can be, you know, and the fact that at its foundation is, you can do this on your panhead. You can do this even on 100-year-old motorcycles. You know, you can do this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you also have stimulated the economy on Route 66 about, what, 90 times this year? So you have a house. You have to own property there by now. I mean, Christ, you've been there so much.
Yeah. So I've been on it 4 times this year. You know, that's just part of the what we do, and you know, traveling across the country, and
you're like the mayor of Route 66.
Do you have one spot in particular on Route 66 that you're exceptionally fond of, like a favorite stop?
There's actually a few. You know, I like the small communities, like the Oatmans, the Seligman, Arizonas. I really love Tucumcari, New Mexico. You know, some of the smaller places that a lot of people don't get off the highway and get to go see, but they're really the heart of Route 66, because, you know, they're keeping it alive from what it was in the 40s and 50s, and, you know, when it was really in its heyday. And, you know, to stay in the boutique hotels and go to the gift shops and eat at the Ma and Pa diners. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Hey, we have a question in from a viewer, actually from Professional Monkey. Says, Jason, the team put so much work into planning this route. Any chance they plan on sharing the route they took? I'm interested in how they avoided interstates, etc.
You know, it's out there, and I'm willing to share with some people, you know, if they want some, you know, tips on how to do it and do it. You know, unfortunately, we have a little bit more interstate than we usually do this year. You know, I'm sure in Arizona and New Mexico, over the last 60 days, we've just been devastated with monsoon rains. We ended up having to deviate, and I think we changed the route 6 times in the last 2 months of what we're going to take and everything like that. I mean, it was even, you know, when we were in Arizona and New Mexico, I had, on one route, I had 3 printed routes with me. And on another day, I had 2 printed routes, because it wasn't until we had the day ahead crew go, did they get this road open from, you know, a pushed out road? You know, was it still too dangerous to pass on a motorcycle? You know, if it rained that day, you know, which we had, you know, on the ride, we had torrential monsoon rains, even with the riders. It's like, which one do we put them on, you know, and to be the safest and get them into the town. And, you know, it wasn't until 30 minutes that we gave these guys the maps that, hey, all right, we got to go with Route B instead of Route A today.
Hey, there's another question coming from Bruno Coppola that says, ask about the visit to Jay Leno's. And that brings us up to another thing. We started last year with you guys something new. We did it called Coffee with Chris. And Chris Summer Simmons in the morning would greet all the riders getting ready for the day, and you guys continued that tradition this year. And we have a clip from the YouTube. You can go to the Motorcycle Cannonball YouTube. Heather will put the link up for you guys and watch more of this. But they did live streams throughout the event. We're going to take a look at one of these real quick, just to see some of that.
Here we are in Burbank, California, day 9. Oh my God, this is like a really special day for a lot of you. Really made people's dreams come true today. I know you're very shy about it. No, you did though, because
Chris, actually, Jay Leno knows Chris more than me.
Longer,
he admitted it. Oh, he knows you longer. Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, he did. He did.
That's nice. Yeah,
Anyhow, I think everybody had a great time. We for those of you that weren't tuning in earlier, we just got back from Jay Leno's shop. He stopped his day, took everybody around, gave us a tour, was starting cars for us. He, like he told Chris, he enjoys himself. He's having fun with us there because he realizes that we're his people.
Yeah, he said, this is my tribe, this is my people, and they understand, they get this stuff, because people come in there and he's pretty selective who he lets in his place. And but he realized that these guys understood, it's like your tribe. He knew that he was, and he kept going on. We were like, okay, let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. And here's the thing about this. This was kind of a secret. Few people knew, there were a few little rumors, but a lot of people didn't have any idea where they were going. It was a secret mandatory stop, right?
That's right. We obviously want to keep it low key. We want to respect Jay. It was really cool of him to open his shop to us. I mean, obviously didn't have to do that. But again, he knows that these people will respect his stuff. He knows that they'll understand what he's talking about. And he was glad to show everyone. I think he had as good of a time as we did. And I'm glad that everybody got to enjoy it. And we're out here now at Story Tavern. My buddy Ted owns this place, set up some parking for us. We're all parked out here. Everybody's having a drink, having a good time.
So this was really cool to see Chris come into her element like this, man, because she did really, really well with that, taking the lead on that. Great job to her.
Yeah, absolutely. She did a phenomenal job all week for us. I think it brought the people, the story of what was going on. She was following up with the riders daily, following their stories and their trials and tribulations. And, we try to do it twice a day. We wanted to get the reaction of, all right, hey, we're going here today. What do you think about it? What was your day like yesterday? And then at the end of the day, we tried to catch the, to get the reaction of that. And it almost seemed like every reaction was, oh my God, this is the best day ever. I mean, how do you top this? And, it seemed like that was the coin phrase daily.
Well, and I'll tell you what what a special treat to be able to go into Jay's garage, because I was lucky enough for Kiwi to take me through there, and even an unguided tour. And Jay came on and did a tour for us with all the viewers of Shop Talk. But man, to stand there in room after room, it would have killed you. It would have killed Mark.
What a down to earth guy he is too. With all he has going on, to be able to, to give people the opportunity. And I want to say, just watching all this crap, and, kudos to you, Jason, because you give people the opportunity to do something that they'd probably never do in their life. And I know there's a winner at the end of this, but in all reality, they're all winners. Just to be able to pull this off and do it, and yet you give them the experience, and they get to fall into stuff like that. It takes so much of your time. Obviously, you kill yourself doing it, but man, it's great that you actually do this, because it seems like others benefit more than you do. You know what I mean?
We benefit too. What gets me going is watching the reaction of these guys. When we go to a Tucumcari, New Mexico, and I put all the guys up in a boutique hotel like the Blue Swallow or the Safari, or the different ones like that. It's a time capsule back into the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Something, 9 times out of 10, these guys would never think about staying there or they were there. And, and just mixing it up, putting these guys in nice, luxurious hotels, and then sometimes not so good.
Yeah.
And it's really all the experience behind that. And getting to show them these different things that people might not ever get a chance to do. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what too, like the thing that Mark just brought up about helping people achieve things like this, because you should talk about that. You've set out the whole plan. You know, everybody knows you're taking care of the stay-in, but also there's a sweep truck, you guys call it, that if somebody breaks down, there's help with that. In the parking lots every night, there's, you know, droves of people helping each other with mechanical issues and everything else. And I mean, I've been on straight solo motorcycle trips, and it's a little daunting, you know, for somebody who's not experienced with that.
Overwhelming.
This is one of the greatest ways to get experience for that.
Right. No, exactly. And I really tried to bring it home today while we were sitting on a pier that, you know, these guys that are there and they were on their motorcycles, this is probably one of the toughest things that they've ever been through.
Yeah.
I mean, even seasoned riders, you know, we had a lot of problems with those, a lot of breakdowns. You know, we had a lot of attrition this year with catastrophic failures, with, you know, physical fatigue where, you know, people just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, it was really one of the toughest probably challenges that we put together today. I mean, just with the schedule, the amount of miles, you know, the extreme heat that we did, the very, very rough roads, you know, just the torrential rains. I mean, just everything that we put these guys through, you know, with the time schedules. And it was one of the toughest things that a lot of these guys did. And the guys that stood on a pier this afternoon, I mean, they have to feel super accomplished. You know, I know there was a lot of, you know, wet eyes in there. It was just, the feeling of accomplishment that these guys went through was amazing. And, you know, this was even from some seasoned veterans that you see out there all the time. That, man, this thing was incredible, and what we went.
Now, real quick, Rob Nussbaum is on here, and he's reminding us that, you know, your level of giving to this program to get people that experience. He said that your own motorcycle was practically stripped by the end for parts to make sure that other people were making it through.
It was. So I brought a motorcycle this year. I actually built a bike just for this event. You know, I got to ride it for the first day or so. You know, and it was just one of those things. I had to step into a different role than what I was really planning on. You know, one of my sweep truck drivers ended up getting sick and was not able to make it. So I went and drove sweep truck the rest of the week. And, you know, it's just one of those things. Hey, I got my bike on here. You know, I ended up giving up a rear brake, a front brake, some parts here and there, a battery. I think we robbed my gas. By the time we got to Arizona, I just had to send it. I ended up sending it back just because I didn't want to get to Santa Monica and only have a frame left, you know. The parts are, you know.
Yeah, funny how that works out. But again, to give what you're giving to these guys, you know, we've traveled across the country alone, and it's rough. So to set these guys, you know,
yeah.
And like you said, some of them are seasoned, but to set some of these other guys up that would never be able to do this, I'm not saying they would never, you know, but not to the extent that you put them into it is, dude, it's amazing. Right. It's cool that you do it for these people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I bet we probably, you know, 30% of the people come up to me afterwards and say, I cannot believe I did this. You know, this is
empowering. Yeah.
I had what it took to do it, but here I am standing here, and, you know, now they feel so accomplished, and it's almost life-changing, and it makes them more confident to go out there and experience some stuff on their own now, or, you know, get their own little groups of buddies together to do similar things.
Oh, that's awesome. Real quick, I just want to chime in. Leanne wants to make sure that everybody knows that you guys do have an amazing staff that works with you along the entire route. And I know, I mean, we were on the mini chase, people. And I know how daunting it is. So you did have a staff of 30 this year on this with you. And,
oh yeah.
You know, I think that's awesome that they get to, that you have that support system with you out there. 'Cause I know how difficult it would be without it.
Well, we should take a minute too and give some props to somebody that was along with you guys on the ride that provided us with the beautiful imagery that we're using on this show tonight too. And that was your photographer.
Oh yeah. So we actually had a couple photographers with us. We brought a new guy in this year. Olivier Turin, he's a French photographer, and he's done some amazing work for us this year. I can't wait to just really see everything. Of course, we had Margie with us that took some phenomenal photographs that we've been using every day on the website and social media. And then, of course, our videographer, JJ, that will start putting some video clips out here in the next couple of weeks of everything.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from anyone else, but I had the pleasure on the FXR Friends Throwdown of spending some time with Olivier and seeing the product that he put out there. And man, like I got to say, he followed it up with this stuff. It wasn't a fluke at all.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He a story with all the images that I think that he does. It's just not the typical riding shots and the group shots. He's really catching the story and the perspective of what these guys were doing. I mean, he's out there in the rain, hiding behind hills and things, and flying ahead and getting his drone out, and just the creative perspective that he has it's unbelievable.
So what's the story? Like, I see the all kids bikes boxes everywhere, and in this shot they're unpacking stuff. What was the story there? What's the involvement?
Oh, so this is a really great story. It's what really started the highlight of the trip out. Myself and Leanne have made a pledge with the Cannonball and the Chase that, we would take a portion of all of our merchandise sales and, us for charitable contributions. And we wanted to really become great ambassadors of this program, All Kids Bikes, which puts bicycles back into elementary schools. We've actually raised enough money through some of our riders with their donations towards our program, ourselves with our merchandise sales. We've actually raised enough money to put bicycles into 5 schools now.
Wow.
Right on,
congratulations.
dude.
I'm getting chills thinking about this because I'm flashbacking now to where in Springfield, the day before all the official festivities started, we went to this school, and this was the very first school that we presented the bicycles to the kids. And we had, I think, about 80 riders participate. We brought all the motorcycles to the elementary school,
Wow.
lined them out in the playground, and we put all the bicycles together, lined all the bicycles up with all the old bikes, and these kindergartners and first graders came out of the gymnasium, and they seen all these motorcycles, and they were freaking blown away. I mean,
That's
it was
so awesome. Oh, I have goosebumps.
on all these kids' face, like, oh man, I mean, it was unbelievable. So the next thing is we provide these kids with these bicycles, and then we let them ride it around, of course, throughout all the motorcycles. And
Right on.
it was, it's got to be one of the top 10 things that in my life right now that I'm very thankful to be a part of. And, we want to keep this going with all the different events that we go to in the cities. Next year in a Cannonball, I'd like to give away 3, just stop at 3 schools with the riders and put some bicycles back in the classrooms.
Man, and listen, like the reason we want to take the time to give you guys credit like that, I think back all the time to the scene in The Godfather when the Don asks one of the guys, have you spent time with your family? And he says, yeah. And he says, that's good. He said, because a man can't call himself a man unless he takes care of his family. And this is something that through the generations, the last couple generations, we've gotten away from in the country, is that your community is your family. The motorcycle community it starts here, and then, what you can do as a family that's going to impact the community outside of your direct family, so that work can't go unnoticed because it's too important for who we are.
Right. And I'm hoping, with what we're doing and the things that we're doing, that some of these other riders, and I've already had people come up and be like, hey, we want to get involved with the program now, and we want to bring it to our hometowns. And,
Yep.
I it's just really paying forward. And, and hopefully it'll start a chain progression of bigger and better things.
Well, and Heather, when I talk about this, about how the impact it has on the community, do you remember what the statistics are about the number of kids who actually ride bicycles?
I want to say over 70% have never ridden a bicycle, if I remember
kids in
correctly.
school today. And I mean, this is, a direct correlation of outside activities, riding a bicycle, the independence, everything that comes along with it that leads you down the road to these are going to be possibly future motorcycle riders. So, I mean, even in that sense, the importance is right there before you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to take a minute and talk about, there are defined winners in this, and how does that go down? Give us a brief on the structure of the program.
Yeah, absolutely. So within this competition, we have 3 different classes with all the motorcycles. So all the motorcycles are 1930 to 1960. Class 1 would be 500 cc and below. Class 2 is 500 to 1,000 cc. And then class 3 is anything over 1,000 cc. And then we give everybody a handicap schedule. So the older the bike that you have, the more handicap points you got. And then also the lower displacement of your motorcycle, you get more handicap points. So if you had a 1930 with like a 250 cc motor, you might get like 15 handicap points. So that would put you 15 points ahead of, other people.
Okay, so now let's talk about penalties. How do you incur penalties along the route?
So we actually have a long list of different penalties that you can get. It's anywhere from not making a checkpoint in time, being late to a checkpoint, getting a speeding ticket, missing a quiz, missing a checkpoint, all kinds of stuff that penalties can occur.
Okay, there's the big question, and Rob Nussbaum put it up as I was getting ready to ask it. The quiz. Did the quiz survive? Did the quiz stay?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Really, the quiz is what makes the scores change daily. I mean, it's a daily thing of, depending on how you did on the quiz, it might change your standings. I mean, I've seen people go from 3rd place to 10th place in just one quiz location. So
now this is important. This is important to talk about for a minute, because I love the fact that a lot of what ends up in the quiz are things that you're also reinforcing to people while they're out there trying to make their time, trying to get their miles, to pay attention to the things around them and the world around them. So explain for just a second the quiz and the way that works.
Hey, absolutely. So, I mean, one of the things and the challenges of when I thought about this event was, how do I get these guys to really pay attention to where we're going, the cities that we're visiting, the things that they're seeing on the route? I've noticed in all these events, and not just the Cannonball, but, road runs and different types of events, that these guys get on these bikes and that they just only pay attention to the road and nothing else. They only see the 2-lane blacktop, and they're not seeing, the distinct roadside attractions, or they're not learning about the towns that we're going to. So I brought in the element of, let me put it out there and get them to know about where we're going by doing a quiz. So half of the quiz every day is about things that we did the day prior. It could be anything from architecture, how many bridges we went over, what type of bridge it was, what is the capital of the state. So it's geography, it's many different things, history of the towns. We really just try to give them to know about as much information as they can. And then the other is about American motorcycle history.
Right on. And this is, I've seen firsthand. I've seen the frustration.
Not easy quizzes.
Yeah, and I've seen the frustration come through. And Chris Simmons even said that, I think it was Chris. Yeah, the quiz is what picks the winners. If your bike makes the miles, the quiz is what picks the winners. And I've seen some frustrated people, but that's the game, man. That's the game. Like, you gotta keep your head on your shoulders.
I'd have to do triple miles to make up for the quiz I failed. So,
well, the morning it's so funny. They're like, "Where did you pull that question out of your ass at?" Because about that, or I was thinking I should have studied about that, or because I have no rhyme or reason of what the quiz is going to be. They never know until they get to take it. Am I going to ask what shape the thing was, or like I said, how many stop signs did you incur today, or I just ask some kind of stupid random questions every once in a while. But it's stuff to pay attention.
I'd miss all that, but I could tell you every old car behind a dumpster or crap like that. So.
Yeah, if it was for spotting potential buys on the side of the road, Mark's 100% in.
Mike Draco, is the quiz with or without Google search for answers? No, you cannot cheat.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you
how
have to do
do
the
you
quiz on your own?
How do you prevent cheating?
We do have a checkpoint. It is monitored.
Oh, okay.
Don't you remember? You have to stand there when you check in with your little clipboard and take the test, and you have to hand it in before you leave.
Yeah. We don't let you wear any helmets in case you got any two-way communication.
Yeah.
And for the most part, these guys have great integrity, and they're there to see how they do. And
can they talk about the answers amongst themselves?
They do. It's super funny, and this is part of the reason why we did it. At nighttime, it's so cool to see these guys sit down in groups of 4 and 5 people and compare their notes for the day. Like, hey, did you see this? And did you see that? They're Google searching stuff, and they're Wikipedia and stuff about it. It's like little study groups every night, and they're taking their notes, and then then after the test, the next day they're like, oh man, we didn't study into that, or it's great just to see the groups.
So a couple things. Tom Banks says the vast majority only really care about making the miles. Anything else is gravy. Rob Nussbaum says, what is the airspeed velocity of a full laden swallow? That's, for God's sake,
14 mile an hour.
Don't tell me that was a real question from the quiz.
I gave these guys some really type of freebies this year. It's so we did a possible 14 points on the quiz per day. 2 of the quizzes is you would get one correct answer. If 1, you knew what your name was and you put your name on a test sheet. 2, what your rider number was, and if you put your rider number on the test sheet. If you got those 2, you got 2 automatic points every day. And the other things, it was just common knowledge, a lot of motorcycle history.
Well,
how many people didn't get 2 points?
Wait a minute.
I bet a lot. Yeah,
we do. Well, Jim Grady asked European swallow or African swallow, and Heather actually came up with the correct answer. I just put it on the screen. It's concluded that the airspeed velocity of a European unladen swallow is about 24 miles per hour or 11 meters per second. And she Googled, that's bullshit. That's all I'm saying.
Cheaters never win.
Man, listen, in answer to Professional Monkey earlier was asking about, do you guys share the route? Is there a place to see it? If you go to the Motorcycle Chase Instagram, Jason does these he has this dope app, man, that takes you through the entire route from day to day. And this was something I loved when we went on the chase. We tried to include this in our videos at the end of the day, but it gives you a geographical perspective and, the towns that you end up going through, the major towns, elevation changes and everything. It's a really, really great app called Relive.
Yeah, we love that app. It's a really great way to see what we do every day. I haven't put all of them up there yet. I've just been running and gunning. We've been so busy every day. I promise I'll get all the rest of them out there.
Right on. So I guess with that we're ready to talk winners. Like we've talked about what it is, how it's scored, what the penalties are, and now we're ready. Are you ready to release winners?
I think let's talk for a minute of what it takes to get there and what these guys did to get where they were today. I brushed on it just really briefly earlier of the amount of attrition that we had this year, from flat tires, catastrophic failures. There were so many things. Usually I only bring one van, one trailer sweep truck. I'm super happy that I brought 2 this year. I just had this weird feeling that I needed to bring another sweep truck and trailer, because these things were almost full of almost every single day. It was something, instead a flat tire or broken chains or a bike seized up, or just there were so many different things. A lot of electrical problem. There were like I said, there were so many things that these guys had to do. Some of them were able to fix them and get going back on the road in the morning. Some of them, we had to leave them at the hotel, and they had to find their own way home. And part of the challenge, and and what makes the experience of this event so great, the unknown, and it's not like it was people that weren't unseasoned. We had some very seasoned people and builders and that done this, and and they struggled and had hard times.
Hey, Big D said that he saw one cat doing this year on a hardtail chopper. Do you remember who that is?
Yeah. So we actually had a couple choppers start an event. We had one of our fan favorites, Jake and Ginger, with a 40-some knucklehead. Unfortunately, they grenaded the thing 40 miles course, and they tried to get it going. They got it to the next town, actually rebuilt the whole entire motor, bottom end, top end, everything. Got the bike running the next day, came to the starting line, just didn't feel right about it. Took a look at it, and they just figured, it's not worth blowing this thing up again.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they had to go home. So, but had another guy, Bob Jessernick, on a hardtail, old school panhead chopper, which was cool to watch him go across the country.
And did he?
I so wanted to do that.
Did he make all the miles?
You know what? Unfortunately, he had made every single mile until day, which was only a 100-mile ride, where we did Angeles Crest Highway from Victorville to Burbank, and he got over the crest at about mile 80 on the day, and one of his aluminum push rods just frickin' grenaded. I've never seen it. Unfortunately, you're done for the day, but fortunately, a super easy part to find. He was back up and running and finished all the miles today.
So he did finish the event. So
yep.
If you can put us in touch with him, no matter what the condition of that motorcycle, without even seeing it, I would love to have it in the magazine just to be able to tell that story.
Cool.
That. Yeah.
Great.
Chopper guy on the chase. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I feel terrible that I can't believe we didn't have a correspondent along the chase this year.
Well,
we failed.
I know.
Then we'll share out.
Jason, I need a story.
All I can say is smoke out. That's all I can say. I apologize for everything with one word,
yeah,
smoke out.
But please.
We'd have to do a whole magazine just dedicated to this for all the stories that came out of this ride.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Can we do a special edition?
Hey, I'm all right with that. We're back up in frequency, so it's not like we won't have the space.
Right.
Let's talk, Jason.
We should. With the images that we have and the stories we have, it makes sense.
Yep. Well, let's go to the winners. I'm going to put the picture up and you talk about this year's winners of the 2022 cross country motorcycle chase. Here they are in all their glory.
So let's start with Class 1. Class 1 winner this year was Dave Courier. As you know, Dave Courier was also the Cannonball champion this year, and he came to win. He had one of the best bikes. He was leading the whole entire race. Class 2 winner was Richard Campbell. Richard's got a fantastic story also. He's started the last 2 chases but has never completed it.
Right on.
Oh, yay.
Dundop is just, every time he's brought it out, it's had a catastrophic failure, and he's had to go home and hasn't been able to compete. And even on this thing, preparing for the race, you know, he had so many problems ahead of time that he didn't even know he was going to be able to make it. And, you know, fortunately, you know, he made it, had a lot of troubles along the road. You know, I think even after the first 20-mile day, after the prologue, he was up for, I think, till like 2 or 3 in the morning, redoing valves.
Yeah, Richard's a good dude too. I'm glad for him.
The determination and hear his story was unbelievable, and how he ended up. So, Class 3 winner this year was Roger Green, riding in 1937 ULH. This is Roger's third chase also. He actually rode to the start of the chase this year. He lives in Upper Michigan, and he is also, after he left the award ceremony this afternoon, is actually riding back to Michigan with a group of guys. So,
can't get enough. I remember Roger Green being on the Cannonball Chronicles. What was his slogan?
Roger Green the Wolverine.
Well, Roger Green the Wolverine. That's it. He's a badass, dude.
So, so up to yesterday, actually, let's go back a few days. So I think it was stage 8, between first, second, and third. Everything that separated was only like a point and a half, 2 points. The guy that was in second place, gaining on going to first place, a really good test taker, you know, just solid rider. Jim Guilfoyle made it to the Mojave Desert, and his bike broke down. Never had problems.
Oh.
Took him from second place to like 50th place.
Oh my God, that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, just a total heartbreak, devastation for him. That moved Todd Cameron, who was last year's winner, actually the last 2 years' winner, into contention. Well, nobody had put Todd in contention this year because, one, he was riding a cheater bike, a 1948 Panhead, you know, just traveling tanks. You know, he only had to fill up one time a day. And, you know, everybody was claiming, oh, you know, Todd Cameron, former number 1. And anyway, I think he started in 74th place or something like that. And he made his whole way into like 3rd place this week.
So congratulations to all the winners. Obviously, we're thrilled that you came on to talk about this tonight with as crazy as things still have to be. But that brings... Go ahead.
We never even mentioned who the overall winner was.
Oh. I'm sorry.
So this morning, there was, I think, a half a point or a 1 point difference between first and second place. So today was going to come down to the quiz, whoever did the best on the quiz. And between first, second, and third, I think it was like a 2 or 3 point difference. We didn't even not know who the winner was until probably 20 minutes prior to us doing awards, because we had to go in and calculate all the quiz scores, and them being so close, you know, we really had to pay attention. And, you know, so like I said, we didn't even know until the time came of who was going to win. This morning, Dave Courier, everybody thought, you know, he was locked in and ready to do it.
Yeah.
1 point ahead. Unfortunately, Roger Green has been a quiz-taking fiend. He was the most knowledgeable on this whole thing. He scored, I think, 98 out of 140 test questions, which made him the most knowledgeable. He won an award for being the most knowledgeable on the chase.
Wow.
Second most knowledgeable was Todd Cameron. He was 1 point ahead behind him at a 97. So everything was super, super close this year. Well, with Roger's test score this morning, it catapulted him into first place on a Class 3 bike, which nobody thought in this event that a Class 3 bike could win. But it really, if you make all the miles and you do good on a daily quiz,
Well, that's the thing too, right? That's because of the handicaps that all the smaller bikes get. The Class 3 is the biggest one.
So Roger Green is our cross country chase legend now. We won a cash prize entry into the next event, and
Wow.
got that title of being number one now.
That's awesome. So, question of the day: how do you top Route 66?
That's a tough one, because it's everybody loves Route 66. I mean, from people in America, especially the foreigners, it's really that most iconic route that there is. I have some tricks up my sleeve. I've actually 2 really good routes put together.
Just don't do it in September so we can go.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, Heather. He's going to change the entire event based on when you can be there.
Hey.
Actually, I'd like the next one in like October or November and see how these guys can do in snow.
Oh, that's just mean. You're rotten.
Listen, that's right on though.
Yeah.
Right on.
Chris would do it.
And I mean that
alone, but he would do it.
Hey, I'd follow him in the truck and trailer, but that'd be closest you're getting me on a bike in the snow right now.
And that's the biggest thing. I'm always constantly thinking like, all right, how can we top this one? And how do I top this one? Because this trip was so epic. I mean, from the all kids bikes to the different places that we went, taking them to Big Texan to eat, the meals that we got provided, the hotels that we stayed in, all the different experience that we did, really, like I said, it's going to be tough to beat. And I've got my work cut out for me for the next year to try to outdo this one.
That'd be my worst thing is like, we wouldn't be allowed to do anything after we ate. So.
Yeah. Mark would be out. Mark would be out of commission. So that brings me to what I was getting ready to say. Much like us with Smokeout, you have very little time to think about it because just like this, now it's time to start talking about registration for Cannonball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we actually, right before the chase, opened up registration for the Motorcycle Cannonball next year. This is probably going to be one of the best cannonball routes that's ever been put together. I always think, how do I outdo myself on previous ones, the experiences, the places that we go, the roads that we travel, because we've done so many epic things. And, I've really come up with a good program for next year. And I'm ready to get to work and really get going on it.
Right on, man. Well, we're in your corner, buddy. This is important work that you're doing for all of motorcycling. So good for you, your whole crew. Thank you so much for doing this because it's literally you guys are out there pumping the lifeblood through this stuff.
Oh yeah. No, we love it. And that's what it's about. It's about keeping these old iron things on the road. Having these guys mentor the next generation. And hopefully what we're putting out there, like I said, gives some people some hope that, hey, I can do this. And, that they get the confidence to be able to work with old machines and keep them going.
Hey, Leanne just commented, let's save time for just one nap before Cannonball Work starts.
I was going to say, is your wife even talking to you right now? There's the big question of the day.
But, yeah. I promised her that I would take a month off because I've been gone since December of last year. I've been on the road probably over 200 days this year already.
Wow.
Planning the route. And, I promised her I'd take the month of October off. I mean, I'm getting daily of like, oh, dude, I got this parts pile here. You want to go look at it? Or you want to go to Born Free? Or you want to go here? Or...
Hey, you're never allowed to go to Born Free again. Like we're not even going to talk about the fact that you have almost every cool motorcycle that's ever been made on the planet, but then you go to Born Free and win a friggin' chopper. Are you kidding me right now?
Dude, I still don't even believe that it ever happened, until
Neither do we. Neither do we. So this is this is gonna be great if we come together on doing this issue of the magazine. I would love to publicize as much of this stuff as we can, because everyone who takes this adventure absolutely deserves to be glorified in it, because it's a real commitment, you know, not just in the time, the money, the preparation, everything that goes on. Everybody needs to pay attention to these people, because it's a special breed that participates in this, and you are their Pied Piper, my man. So thank you for coming on with us tonight. And
I appreciate you having us on here, and I look forward to working with you guys again.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
Take care. Be safe.
What's that? You going to
go party?
All right, man. Hey, listen, check them out on the Cross Country Motorcycle Chase Instagram. Check them out on the Motorcycle Cannonball website. Make sure you're paying attention to what they're doing, and if you have the means whatsoever, get involved and go do some of this stuff, because it's amazing. You're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We are going to go check out a feature bike, and this is one that's right up the Cannonball alley. I would love to see somebody do the Cannonball on this one. We're going to check out this bike. When we come back on the other side, Heather is going to do events. Stick around. You're watching Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Good evening, Shop Talk viewers. This is a 1911 Flying Merkel board track racer. It's a exquisitely done recreation. There's only one known real Flying Merkel board track racer left in existence today. It's in the National Motorcycle Museum in Anamosa, Iowa. That machine is valued somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. The previous owner of that machine, while he owned it, built an exact replica of this particular machine. A young man named Vanderpool built it. The motor is all real. The frame, fenders, rims, handlebars are all remanufactured. But this is what people, daredevils at the turn of the century, raced on board track, high bank board racing aerodromes at speeds in excess of 90 and 100 miles an hour. It's direct drive. It has a jack shaft. You pedal it to start it, or you push to start it. I do not have the drive chain hooked to the rear motor or to the rear sprocket, so we can push the machine around. It has a throttle and it has a kill switch. It has no brakes. It's meant for one thing, and that's wide open. It's also 11 horsepower. To see how they put 4 spark plugs in it? Yeah. And all the plug wires connect all the plugs. And fire comes out of the pipes. So you can give it extra oil while you're racing it. Here's the kill switch. It just grounds on the handlebar. Hey, this is Steve Klein with Sierra Madre Motorcycle Company, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Riders, you ready? Galveston, you ready? Go! Off the tip.
Bikers Info USA, the first bikers app by bikers, for bikers, and it's free. National and state events, Sturgis and Daytona, Bikers Info USA. Every motorcycle manufacturer dealer listed. Biker products for you and your bike. Bikers Info USA. Find the places to go, places to party, places to stay at every event. Bikers Info USA. Download it now. It's free. Bikers Info USA.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and I'm here. I'm at the Dennis Kirk warehouse. Over 160,000 items in this room. You guys hear me say it all the time. Last minute in the garage, waiting to get that part you need. This is where it comes from. Check them out today, DennisKirk.com.
Okay, welcome back to the black screen of death, the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Listen, man, Shop Talk happens through your cooperation, so you can help us every week by going up there, hitting the like and share button, going over there, supporting our sponsors and stupidity, and get involved. You know, throw up a comment. We tell you throughout the show that your comments matter, and we use them for conversation throughout the show. Which brings me to, I see Steve Broyles has mentioned we'll be board track racing in 20 days. We're going to be at Sons of Speed in Daytona. And Mark,
I did see an announcement that you're calling the race.
I am calling the race. I am, which is going to be interesting because part of that is going to be they're going to have a really long microphone cable, and I'm going to have a mic shoved up under my helmet while I'm racing the 45 class.
So you're going to hear a lot of screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine there's going to be some screaming. That's why Roadside Marty's father
is so excited.
He's so excited, but he's also like, he keeps telling Roadside, he's like, we need to tear this motorcycle apart. Let me put some heat in the engine. And Roadside's, listen, let him just get out there. You know, Shelton, I love you, man, but there's a difference between the 1916 motorcycle that I've been riding with Tom Kiefer to a 45. Like,
Shelton, please don't kill my husband.
I'm gonna need a minute. But hey, it's also almost Poppy's birthday. When is Poppy's exact birthday?
The 27th.
Steve Broyles, Stevenson Cycle up in D-Town. Yeah, Professional Monkey's going to run next to me and hold the mic. Hey, you're going to be at the track. Maybe you and you can call while I'm racing and we'll switch back and forth. Ooh. So be there.
Oh, boy.
Can we get a sidecar?
Listen, and if you guys are not following Professional Monkey, like this cat he is too much. I feel like if I had something that was worthwhile to present to him, I would offer him his own segment on this show because he is so effing funny in everything that he does, man. And like, it's awesome. It's awesome to have you in amongst the stuff that we're doing because you just bring a whole nother level to it. But yeah, Sons of Speed coming up quick. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to be at Willie's for the
Chopper Time
Tropical Tattoo Chopper Show.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to get Mark. Mark, what?
It's in the docket right now. We're giving it a shot.
I'm putting the pressure on you.
The sad part about it is I can't do the only two things I want to do, and that would be both Sons of Speed and Willie's.
I know, right?
So I'm torn between trying to pull off.
And conveniently, they put them both close enough together that you can.
Aren't you your own boss?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? That when you work for yourself, you know how that goes. That just means you work 5 times as much.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah, you don't get to make any of your own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're like, oh,
yeah,
that looks cool.
That's what kills me is to pick one of the two. So
Sometimes I get lost in the show just by following the comments. You guys are too much. You guys are too much. So listen, like I said earlier, lots of stuff still going on in motorcycling, and that brings us to the events with Heather. Heather?
Oh, yay.
The Shop Talk events calendar is brought to you by the Bikers Info app, the Everything Bikers app, all in one place, everything you need, and it's free.
Nitty Gritty Chopper City. Yes.
You almost fell asleep doing it, though.
I have
We're
to
gonna put
say
a
it
time
slow.
limit on you.
I have to say it slow or I'm going to screw it up. October 1st and 2nd at Backwoods Saloon in Conroe, Texas. Camping's $25. Vendors are $75. Go check them out. That's put on by our buddy Eric Vaughn at Destroyer Garage.
Get some. We're sending a big box of prizes and stuff down there supporting the show. So go.
It might be in here somewhere.
Yep, it is.
Next up is the Congregation Show. That is at Camp North End in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 8th, noon to 8. That's put on by Prism Supply and Dice Magazine. Next, Chopper Time. October 13th, 11 to 4. 100% of the proceeds goes to the Veteran Support Fund. So pay your $20 to register your bike. Have a good, come hang out, see some of the greatest choppers on the planet at Willie's Tropical Tattoo, and get a tattoo while you're there. Booyah! Do you want to do it?
I just want to say that. No, I don't want to do it. I put my creepy voice effects on tonight so I could say "Once Upon a Time."
Oh, knock it off. October 22nd and 23rd at the Yellow Rose Canyon Ranch in Texas. Keep going.
Wait a minute. This is not fair for you to stop me, because
no, I don't like your creepy. It makes me want to take my ears
out. It's
not
creepy.
You are creepy.
This is the epic movie trailer voice, and I had a whole thing planned out. I had a whole thing planned here where I said, "Once upon a time, there was an event that exhibited so much freedom it outgrew the state that it originally started in."
This is usually where I just leave.
I was just gonna say, this is not the Chris show.
Oh boy!
Come on.
Here we go. All right, sorry, Heather. Here you go.
Back to the Heather show.
Mark, would you like to do the events?
No,
please?
that's why this part's the Heather show.
Oh, I don't like.
But
it
I do
want to
go back to the first one again and have you say it. We're gonna put a time limit on
No,
son of a biscuit eater.
Oh, this is super cool. We have a new sponsor for our Lone Star Rally events.
Oh boy.
I'm super excited. Can we officially make the announcement?
I think so.
So officially,
We don't have anything yet. We don't have the
would like to
logo. We don't have
welcome-
the product.
we would like to welcome Gorilla Pro to our list of sponsors for the Lone Star Rally. They're going to be on hand with trophies and prizes and all sorts of good stuff. If you guys aren't familiar with Gorilla Pro, it is a new rendition of Loctite. Finally Loctite has a competitor.
Yeah, how about it?
Put out by
H.B. Fuller.
So we're going to be checking out their products
And we have a full complement of this product coming into the garage, and we're going to be putting this stuff through its paces. But there's thread lockers, gasket sealants, instant adhesive, retaining compounds, little epoxy packages. I can't wait to check that out.
I will keep you all updated on what you can stick to what.
But Mark, check this out. Giant tubs of Gorilla Anti-Seize. That shit's going to be everywhere.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So anyway, they have come on as a new sponsor for our Lone Star events. Our annual rodeo games Friday, November 4th at Beat Central. You'll be able to sign up with us on the corner of Seawall and 21st.
And that road.
Yep, Seawall and 21st. Overall winner gets a championship belt and bragging rights for a year. The following day, Saturday, November 5th, again on Seawall, is our annual custom ride-in bike show. We have awards in 25, 30 classes or something like that. So come hang out with us.
Way to be invested in the program, Heather. I'm just saying.
You run with it.
Do you want me to read them all? How much time do we have?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
Nope.
I can. I will.
Mrs. Monkey, great. Now they'll be trying to stick all sorts of things together.
I know.
And that's
like they
that's
don't
right.
already do that.
And we're sending some to Mr. Monkey.
It's
so
going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I got the weirdest feeling Nugget's going to be stuck to Smalls for a little while.
Oh.
and not in a traditional way, just so you know.
I think Mrs. Monkey and I are going to have a competition over who gets the first call of like,
We're going to the ER.
We're going to the ER.
Get the ice and the X-Acto knives ready.
Okay, though, I have a potato, a pipe stem, and some foil.
Watch this trick.
Anyway, High Seas Rally. Chris is going to be on the High Seas Rally with Xavier and Tom Kiefer and the Perowitz and the Yaffies and the Klocks. Like everybody, like so many rad people are going to be on the High Seas Rally.
And listen, this is a good time to talk about this. You know, we've been so wrapped up in Smoke Out, and thank you again to the High Seas people that came out to Smoke Out and helped us pull that off. But High Seas Rally is going to be off the hook. Can you imagine 3,500 motorcycle people all on one ship, one cruise, doing a Caribbean island tour
with free
and
drinks?
Free drinks. We're doing all kind. I mean, there's, you know, some of the biggest names. Some of the biggest names, like Heather just said, are going to be on the boat. The Pirwitz, Yaffe's going to be there. You know, Tom Kiefer, Rick Bray is going to be there. Tons of people doing motorcycle stuff. We're going to have some Grease and Gears garage segments. There's going to be the Pirwitz show from the ship. We're going to do a shop talk from the ship. It's going to be lots of great stuff. There's still time for you to get involved.
You can't do a shop talk from the ship because me and Heather won't be there.
Well, I was thinking about how to
pretend shop talk. It's going to be pretend Grease
Mark,
and Gears
let's
too.
send them cardboard cutouts.
We should.
I have one to Mark already. I just need yours.
Heather, we should do our own shop talk and Grease and Gears.
Oh, we
garage.
should.
There you
it
go.
Would be awesome.
We'll show them.
That'd be
I'll
funny.
be in Texas, though.
2 minutes in, one of you would piss the other one off, and you wouldn't talk for the rest of the show.
No, we'd have a blast.
Yeah, we'd have a blast.
Like, so do you remember that time Chris did this?
Remember that one time at band camp? You know, I really feel bad for you guys because you'll be doing Lone Star and Chris will be out in the water and I'll be at home relaxing.
Wait a minute though. Here's a
some
preview
TV.
of you two doing shop talk together. Go.
Well, we can't. We have a black screen.
Hey, wait a minute. It wouldn't be as technologically advanced, but I could use my phone and we could muddle through an episode of Shop Talk.
Don't you
I have my
think
little
for 1
switcher
second.
studio.
That's
I
okay.
got you.
That's all right. I got to leave here tonight. When I do, I'm taking one little thing off the door to see if Chris can figure
Forget
it out.
about you. You can't go now.
Smart guy.
What is it? What was your line from that?
Forget you then. You can't go.
I told him I'm taking one little part off the dolly when I leave tonight, and then tomorrow give him something to do, try and figure out what I took.
Oh my God,
I have
mailman.
things that I need him to accomplish. Please don't do that.
Mailman and mailbox are going to be on High Seas. Thank God. The post office is going to be with us. Professional Monkey Shop Talk, the phone edition.
That's how it started. Just
right.
so
It
you know,
is.
that's
It
how
is,
it started.
Dude. It is. That's so great.
No, it's going to be good. Blacked Out Bandit. How you doing, Chris, Heather, and Mark? We're doing good.
Hey, how you doing?
Here we go right here.
Hey,
Heading up
y'all.
the end of the year.
Booyah!
Chopper Fest. Total brain cramp. I lost.
Yeah,
myself
you
on
know
one.
that one that happened 17 years in a row
I
now.
was gonna say. I was thinking about Daytona, so I was gonna say Volusia instead of Ventura, and I knew that wasn't right, so I just went. December 11th, 8 to 4, Ventura County Fairgrounds. Be there. We might possibly be there. Maybe
That'd be fantastic.
Right.
Maybe.
That would mean another week that we wouldn't be in your hair.
Well,
Right.
no, I meant going to.
Oh.
Yeah, I would like to.
Summerfest.
Yeah,
That
Chris
would
has
be
been there,
pretty
done
cool.
that. I have not. Mark has not.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Listen,
Mark,
you know
maybe
what-
you and I should
We
go do
should.
some of this
At
cool
this
stuff and
point-
leave Chris home.
At this
Mark, do you know why you would love Chopper Fest so much? And somebody can correct me on this. Do they still do the Moon Eyes Christmas party the same weekend as Chopper Fest?
Oh, so it would
If
be
anyone on the West Coast is watching.
it would be a hot rod fest.
But what they do, the Moon Eyes Christmas party happens at a drag race track right up the road, and it's bitchin', dude.
Yeah.
Like
That sounds like fun. We need to have a
Yeah.
Cycle Source Christmas party someplace
That
cool.
Cycle Source Hot Rod Show?
Blacked Out Bandit. Is there any good chopper shows in Michigan? Yes, there is one that Steve Broyles keeps telling us about. Steve, are you still on here, Poppy?
Poppy, help us out. What is it? Chris's
So-
band is playing on the High Seas Rally. Black Smoke Sinners, Chris and Xavier, are going to be playing along with Robert and Jake and Beeson.
Beeson. I can't wait to see
fun.
Beeson, too.
I'm really sad.
I know. I'm in a doghouse for so long for going on a cruise without my wife. But somebody has to go and do it.
Oh,
I mean,
take one
you
for
know,
the team.
I really am. I really am. So, hey, we mentioned that all of this is coming through the cooperation of Dennis Kirk and Cycle Source Magazine. Cycle Source, you can get it on the newsstands nearly every 30 days now. We're back after the COVID
kind of, sort of, maybe
disaster. But in addition to that, you can follow along through our website at cyclesource.com. We put up all the news and everything that we can fit there. Also, you can hit the shop for all of the smokeout gear that you may not have gotten at Smokeout. Go get some there. It's up on the store. You can see all the Cycle Source goodies that Heather has plugged in for you guys to buy.
The Damn Show.
The Damn Show.
I think it's
there
a
you go.
Detroit antique motorcycle. Is that right? That Detroit Randy puts on?
Yeah. Where? That doesn't look like Cycle Source gear.
No. It's not.
Okay, well, I gave it a good shot. There it is.
Maybe not.
Nope, also not.
Wow.
All right,
but
well,
me and Heather wouldn't have a good show.
Hey, listen, some of my frolicking around the internet is part of the thing that...
Well, you have a point.
Hey, Denny Weimer isn't getting notifications for Shop Talk. Can y'all help him out? I have no answers. Like, some people say that...
Turn your computer on.
No, some people say that like the algorithms are doing weird shit anymore, and they don't get the... Are we gonna have a Professional Monkey? So these are websites. You helping me out there, huh?
Yeah, I gave you a link to the Cycle Source gear. There you go.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna have a UFO show there with
link,
algorithms.
that's not the link I just gave you.
This is the link you just gave me.
No, it's not. That's the link I just gave you. There
Okay.
you go,
how about cool your tool there?
A lot of arguing going on here tonight.
I don't like it when mommy and daddy fight.
Oh, getting out of hand.
Hey, but listen, we're bringing some of these shirts right here to Fall Foliage to give away as prizes.
Oh, we are?
Because of their unique colors. Yes.
Oh.
So
unique.
I might even have some at... We'll definitely have them along with some smokeout gear at Biketoberfest.
Yep. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up. We hope to see you guys there. I hope to see Mark there more than anything.
Where?
Because you're like everywhere we're going. Your cardboard cutout is not going to make too many more trips with me.
Wow.
We've folded them into too many pieces, and he doesn't stand up straight anymore. So
I don't stand up straight. So cardboard cutout, can it drive?
No. And that's a problem. Your
becoming an issue.
Your cardboard cutout is not pulling his own weight, Mark. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway, man, we've kept you guys for the full hour and a half here. I appreciate everyone letting us come into your headspace for a little bit on Sunday evenings, get you ready for the work week best we can. If you got some stuff, send it to us. Otherwise, next stop. Where's the next stop, Heather?
Fall Foliage.
We're going to the Cape.
We're going to Massachusetts. Yep. I can't wait.
What is it, going down or going up?
Up.
We're going down.
We're going down the Cape. We're going down the Cape.
Yeah, but you're going up to the Cape.
We're going up the Cape.
Yeah.
We're going up
the Cape.
Well, no,
you're going up. From here, you're going up.
Whatever it is, until next time when we see you guys again, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
See you up the Cape, Felicia.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers,